Alright lads, Sivsy Vlog here, and welcome to yet another episode of the weekend preview. If you haven't seen this before, it's where I go through all 10 games in the Premier League and Charlton's game, and I tell you my predictions and how I think the game's going to go. So let's get straight into the predictions. First game is Man United versus Newcastle. I'm going to predict a 2-1 win. Obviously, United start to pick up a good bit of form. Rooney getting into form. Also, Newcastle getting into form with Remy scoring a good few goals. But at Old Trafford, I always feel Man United have that slight advantage, and I think a 2-1 win will make both teams fairly happy. Next game, Southampton versus Man City. Obviously, Southampton have been one of the overachievers of the season. Man City have been kind of slightly underachieving, I would say, but at times they've shown really good quality. I feel like it's going to be 2-2 today. Obviously, City, I do feel if they play their best, they can win. But whether they played their best or not is another story. And, Southampton will be well up trying to prove that they can be in and around that kind of area. They can be in and around the Champions League places. Next game is Stoke versus Chelsea. I reckon it's going to be a 2-0 win for Chelsea. Stoke haven't looked very good going forward, in my opinion, this season. So it's hard to say. They're trying to adapt their style. So it's hard for them to kind of go from hoofball to trying to play semi-nice football. And they're trying to adapt, and they're not doing amazingly at adapting. And Chelsea have had a really good game against Sunderland. Eden Hazard just tore stuff up. He was amazing. So yeah, 2-0 win for Chelsea. Next game is West Brom versus Norwich. I'm going to 1-1 draw. Not really much else to say about that. Next game, Palace versus Cardiff. Palace obviously coming off quite a good streak, I'd say. And then Cardiff also not doing too badly themselves. At Palace, neither of them looked good, like they're going to score much, so I'm going to predict a 0-0 draw. Next game is Liverpool versus West Ham. Obviously Liverpool doing really well on midweek against Norwich. Luis Suarez playing really, really well. And then West Ham playing kind of losing to Crystal Palace. And I just think at Liverpool it's going to be a 3-0 win for Liverpool. Next game is Sunderland versus Tottenham Hotspur. Spurs haven't had the best starts of the season, especially after all the money they spent, but Sunderland have even worse start to the season. Picking up not too bad result against Chelsea. They did well, and if they play out that, I don't see why they can't beat Spurs, but I don't think they will, and I think Spurs will be up for it and trying to get back into form. So I'm going to do a 3-1 win for Tottenham. Next game is Fulham versus Aston Villa. I'm going to predict a 1-0 win for Aston Villa. Managerless Fulham. It's always hard when you don't have a manager. Sometimes it gives you a boost, sometimes it doesn't. Just depends on the players, really. But I'm going to go ahead and say a 1-0 win for Aston Villa. Next game, Arsenal versus Everton. Probably the game of the weekend. Both teams in very good form. Arsenal obviously in the better form, and at the Emirates I can't see them losing at the moment. I'm going to predict a 3-2 win for Arsenal. Next game is Swansea versus Hull. On Monday Night Football, Swansea haven't had as good a season as they did last year, but they still haven't been bad. Hull just haven't really offered anything, haven't really shown much fight in terms of. I don't think it's too likely they're going to stay up. So I'm going to go ahead and predict a 2-0 win for Swansea. And finally, Yeovil versus Charlton. And as much as I think it's very possible that we can lose, just depends again what Charlton turn up on the day, whether it's the last 20 minutes at Reading. If it's the last 20 minutes at Reading, then the Yeovil defence won't be able to withhold the pressure we put on the Reading defence. Reading have a very good defence. I'm not sure. In Yeovil aren't a particularly great side. No offence to any Yeovil fans. They're going to be down there scrapping with us at the end of the season. So this is very, very important 3 points. And I reckon we can nick a 1-0 win But again, as I said, depends what Charlton turn up, whether it's the last 20 minutes at Reading or the first 70. It just really does depend. Hopefully we get a good result, because this is a very, very important 3 points. Relegation 3-pointer really. And hopefully we can get a good win and they can get back on winning ways. So if you can get like a good few wins over the Christmas period, then that puts you in a really strong position. So that's the end of the video, guys. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Cheers.